and welcome to our podcast. This is our
Welcome.
first episode of our thing. I hope you're gonna like it. So, we're gonna be talking about Liverpool losing to Villa 2-7. Oh,
What a shocker of a game.
painful, honestly.
Well, if you're a Liverpool fan, it is, but
That's true.
not if you're a City or United fan.
Yeah, well, we can start with what's happened at the start, as Allison was missing because he got injured in the training.
And then you've got Mane and Thiago out as well.
Yeah, they were out because they tested positive for coronavirus, which is unlucky, but that's what you get playing, either international or just doing the whole, transfer things recently with this sort of state of the world. It's hard not to get it. But then just Liverpool didn't have it. They weren't on the pitch. I don't know.
But there's having a bad day and then there's losing, well, not just losing, getting drubbed by a team that's only in the Prem because of a Hawkeye fault.
Yeah, and then especially when you're champions and you're just getting destroyed like that, it's just.
Well, it's broken a record, hasn't it, for like the biggest defeat for a Premier League title holder.
I'm pretty sure. Like, even Jamie Carragher said it was one of the worst defensive performers he've ever seen in his life, and it was like since 1963 or something like that. To get beaten like that, it's just.
It does not surprise me. Joe Gomez had an awful game. Well, in general, the entire team did, except Salah.
Salah was decent, but they didn't seem like they cared enough to just do anything. They seemed like they were just tired. They seemed like energyless. I don't know.
Yeah, probably from like that in the last season and stuff as well. And then
it's a new season. You're the champions. You have to show, even especially a team like Aston Villa, who's the boss here. And I don't know. It's just.
Well, because at the point when Villa was 2-0 up, I thought probably Liverpool's heads are starting to drop. And then Salah went and scored, and then is Liverpool. So you expect them to come back from that anyway. And then before you know it, there's another 2 goals in. And then you just see the game running away from Liverpool.
Yeah, especially in that they finished a half 4-1. Like, that's how do you get up back on the pitch?
Yeah,
or how do you go
that's
back
a big
to
statement.
it? It's
like there's one thing like you can say, oh yeah, Alisson's up injured, but then regardless, you're in the Premier League and with Liverpool, your backup goalkeeper shouldn't be allowing 7 goals in, and it could have been more because Barkley was missing chances, and then Watkins hit the bar.
That is true. And then also, if you think about it, Premier League champions, and missing just a couple of players. I know everybody is very important, but like, you should have the bench being so strong as your main team in situations like, Mane being out, Thiago being out, your goalkeeper is out. You should be able to still stick to the standard that you've shown with the first team, and it's so disappointing when you look at it and you just see the state of it, and then it's just, okay, Liverpool fans will say, oh, but we were missing Mane, we were missing this and that, but you're champions. You're not allowed to lose 7-2. What's going on?
Yeah, and then you go on Twitter and then you see Adrian receiving death threats and stuff, which isn't the case at all. Because you need to think as well, if like, let's say that you worked at McDonald's or something, and then you went home and you got thousands of people on Twitter telling you that you're just shit at your job. Like,
I'm pretty sure he knew, because it was 2-7. He knew he fucked up. You didn't need to help him out with this statement. It's just
yeah, and it didn't help on him either. And then it's the same people that, and then you destroy his confidence, and then when he puts in another stinker, you do it again, and then you wonder why he's not performing well.
Yeah, well, apart from maybe actually he's not being the best, I can understand that. He's just, he's the second goalkeeper and he doesn't get enough game time anyway. But still, it's just, I know like every fan in football would be shitting on their team, on their players, but death threats is just that's just too far, isn't it? It's just too
Yeah,
far.
and then at the end of the day as well, it's just football. Like,
Yeah, it's death threats are illegal. Like that's just something that it's a crime. And then doing that to a person and a part of a team that you're supposed to love and support, it's very, very wrong, I think. It's bad, but well.
yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Okay, so here we are talking about United losing to Spurs 6-1. Another big game, another big defeat, big
Well,
win. Depends where you're looking at it from. Like, I don't know.
well,
The game started pretty much good for United. They got a penalty right away. Pretty much, they scored a penalty. It was 1-up, and then 6 minutes. That's how much it took Spurs to score another two, and they were already 2-1. And honestly, United looked just really, really bad. They just
well, it's the first time they've conceded 6 goals since the City 6-1. Back in I think it was that 2011-2012 season. But
it's really bad to see like how they
the fall from grace that United
yeah,
have had.
exactly. And then you look at it, they seem so strong, after the whole break and the new season started and all that. And then you see them at the pitch and they looked worse than Liverpool did the other game. They looked even worse. They looked absolutely like they weren't interested in the game. They're not playing football anymore. Like, I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah, I think surely it's got to be Ollie. That's just not working well for him.
Well, I
And I
know,
think,
you can say that Spurs looks really strong. They look really strong this season, right? But
but the thing they look strong, but they still they still bottled a 3 goal lead to West Ham,
that's true, which we will be talking about
and
later.
and it seems even worse as well considering that Ollie is an ex-manager of United as well, and nonetheless it's being beaten 6-1 by Spurs of all teams.
And looking at it the other way, like Man United are playing in Champions League. They can't afford conceding in their own league, conceding 6 goals. That's just mad. I don't know. The game looked really, really funny in a way because I'm not a United fan. So for me, it looked just. I was laughing. It was a shit show, honestly. And
Yeah, for me as well, considering I'm a City fan, I took great enjoyment out of this game.
it,
But like, what's happening with Maguire? Like
I think he has some issues, especially what happened on the holidays. He got
yeah,
arrested.
with Mykonos stuff as well, and then
Yeah, and then he acts like that. He's a captain, and he got sent. He got a yellow already, and he tackled the guy so badly. He got another one, and he got sent off. I don't. He didn't look happy either. He didn't look like he wanted to be in the game anymore. And
and when you look at like the great Manchester United captains, and then you look at Maguire
Maguire,
now, and
yeah,
it just doesn't suit.
it's
And
I don't know. It's a mistake. I think you know to make him a captain when he's or even let him on the pitch when his mental state is clearly something's wrong there, something's happening behind the scenes that we maybe don't know about, but it's so hard to look at when you think it's the great Manchester United, really.
yeah, and I think the entire team is like somewhat maybe annoyed and disheartened by the fact that United didn't get Sancho, and it's just affected how they're playing.
And on top of all of that, you got the after-match interview and you get Ollie saying that, well, after 4-1 he was focusing on the damage control, and I'm thinking, you're a Man United manager and you dare to say that in an open interview?
Yeah, it's one thing saying it in behind closed doors and stuff to maybe the team and
Yeah,
the
it,
board and such,
it's
but
embarrassing.
Yeah, like United should never be going about damage limitation. They should be always
Scoring.
like, yeah, clawing away, fighting
Always
for the win.
forward. Always talk about this episode is a Liverpool. So another topic we want to talk about this episode is a Liverpool and Everton game, which is very, very controversial topic these days to even start. But
Well, obviously Liverpool went 1-0 up early on,
it seemed
and
like they
then
had everything under control really the first couple of minutes.
yeah, and then we expected it to Liverpool to wrap it up,
And then there was
and
a
then
Pickford tackle that happened, which was awful, awful tackle, let's
yeah,
be honest.
it definitely should have been a red,
It should have been a
but
red, agreed. But, well, the referee wasn't good. The entire game, the referee was really, really bad. And, well, I don't think Pickford intentionally wanted to hurt Van Dijk, if I'm honest. Obviously, he wanted to tackle him because that's the part of the game. But I don't think in his intentions were that bad. I don't think so. I can't believe in that.
yeah, and it's just unfortunate for Liverpool fans that
Yeah, it probably is heartbreaking for them. Like Van Dijk's one of their best players, if I say so, right? And then they just lose him for months.
well, he's out the entire season, I'm pretty sure, but or near enough the whole of the season. They come back like towards the end,
Yeah.
but
Still, it's I get it. It's heartbreaking, but that's the part of the game. You just get injured. You get tackles. It happens. And I think Liverpool
people,
fans just took it over to the moon.
yeah, with attacking
Pickford.
Pickford and stuff, which more surely shouldn't like the referee should be getting more of a blame, particularly.
Of course, and Pickford. Well, people saying he said that he's done that. Sorry, intentionally is one thing, but people going mad and wanting his head. People saying really naughty stuff. The things I saw on Twitter, honestly, like wishing Pickford dead or like telling them they're gonna find them and they're gonna do something to him. What is wrong with you? It's
Yeah,
football.
and it's the same ones that are like, oh, don't laugh at injuries, and then
And then they
like when
go,
it's
yeah, and they go against what they're saying themselves, really, do they? Like,
yeah, but it's I don't know. It was an awful tackle, and you just got to move on for it. And
yeah, I
then,
think that's something that they should work on, moving on from one game and just move on past it and just look forward. It's
but
just
they're going to miss out on the season, especially if Gomez continues to be poor, and then as good as Trent is offensively, he can't defend. So
yeah, I think they're in a big trouble right now, especially after let's be honest, we talked about the loss to Aston Villa, and we saw what the team looks like when it's not full or like somebody's
but
missing.
even then they had Van Dijk. So
Exactly, but if they didn't have Van Dijk, then what I'm saying is like they're a giant puzzle, and if you take one puzzle out, the whole thing is just breaking down. It seems like, and that's not how a champions team should look like, you know.
well, even if you look at the line that they put against Ajax, the midfield of because Fabinho was playing as a centre back then, the midfield was Curtis Jones, Milner, and Wijnaldum, and that isn't a good enough midfield
Yeah,
for
to be fair, it was working fairly well in against Ajax, but that's a different game. But still, I feel like Liverpool is going to be in big trouble this season because of that. What happened there, and the atmosphere as well during the game. It looked like it was so tense for everyone, all the players, the managers, apparently fans, but we can't see the fans on the stadiums at this point. But I think it was a really, really like big derby, and I don't know, it ended tragically, let's say, because
obviously, yeah. And then, well, Richarlison got sent off, didn't he, beforehand, and then Thiago's injured.
yeah, it's been a bad game, but we cannot forget that football is supposed to sort of put us together, not break, friendships apart because somebody said that Pickford should have been, I don't know, dead, and somebody saying that, I don't know, like Van Dijk's dead. Like, do you know what I mean? They just went beyond everything and just remember what's football about. Don't just go overboard with it. It's just, I don't know, it's really wrong in my opinion. It's just Ugh.
And then to add to the drama of the game, there's the disallowed goal at the end.
Oh, it was such a bitter moment as well for Liverpool, wasn't it? They were already mad, and then they almost had it. They were just an
Yeah,
inch,
it slipped through their fingertips.
inch away. But
I suppose that's it for that topic.
yeah, that's another 5 minutes. Okay, next subject would be Spurs bottling 3-3 to West Ham. Um,
Well, like we've said in this episode already, there's been a lot of shockers, but well, Spurs started off strong with this game. I thought they could have easily thrashed West Ham,
yeah,
but then
they were really strong. They were looking really good and promising. And honestly, I saw so many people saying Spurs are gonna win the league, and I honestly I had us, even though I cannot say that as the fan I am. I'm not allowed to say that, but they looked really good.
yeah, and then they seemed to give up after the three goals.
It just
There seemed no drive afterwards.
it was such a turn off. It's like somebody switched them off immediately. Like, oh, we have three, we're safe now, and you're never safe. It's football, it's sport, you know. It's and then just they were doing good, and then they got Bale coming on, and
Yeah, then he missed what should have been a goal, but then you got to think of how much football he's played in the past year or so, and
more golf than football, really.
well, yeah.
If we're honest here, so it was just I don't know. The game was actually really good to watch. I watched the entire thing, and it was really fun. And it was amazing to see how West Ham sort of lifted, totally up. They were just went for it. But still, that's not a team that you should be scared of if you're Spurs, if you're wanting to go for the title. Not West Ham. All right.
So yeah, if you're challenging for the title, like you don't want to be dropping points to a team like West Ham.
Yeah, especially like that. But well, it was an interesting game to watch, but not really much to talk about apart from the fans were really excited to see Bale coming on again. And they got really disappointed because they started conceding as he came on, which should tell you something. But that's just my personal opinion. Okay, I think that's it for this episode.
Yeah, we'll be back again on Wednesday for the next
We
episode.
hope you enjoyed it, and just let us know anywhere really. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. Just let us know what you think.
Right, we'll see you then.
See ya!